Hello everyone, my name is Aditya Singh Negi and my partner is Ranjot Singh. We study in Victoria University and for the data visualization assignment in business analytics, we are making a video presenting the use of illicit drugs in Australia. We are using SAP Lumira for expressing the data with different charts. SAP Lumira is a self-service business intelligence for business analytics. Further, I would like to tell you that I have not used the SAP Lumira storyboard for my representation of the video because as this video is going to be uploaded on YouTube, I wanted the users to get to know about different components of SAP Lumira. So I haven't done the storyboard of the SAP Lumira. I wanted the user to see all the different dimensions and measures that I have used. Now, further, before starting the charts, I would like to tell you what are drugs. Drugs are substances that changes a person's physical or mental state. The vast majority of drugs are used to treat medical conditions, both physical, mental, but some of the drugs are used outside the mental settings for their effect on the mind. They are referred to recreational drugs and many of them are illegal in Australia. They are basically used in order to attain the mental and physical high. Here, we will be discussing about these recreational drugs through different visualizations of the data that we have retrieved. Now, in the first chart, it states that the estimate of users of different drugs in 2013, and as it is clearly visible that the amount of cannabis used in 2030 was the highest to 227.27, and the best estimate was 177.63, whereas STC was the lowest drug used in 2013 with the highest of 28.24 and best estimate was 18.75. The reason for me not choosing the SAP Lumira storyboard is that the user can have access to all the measures and dimensions that I've used. They can see various dimensions like I've used in y-axis drugs, so they can see how they can further make SAP Lumira assessments or projects with the help of this video. Now, moving forward to the next chart, chart number 2. Uh, this chart shows the illicit use of drugs, excluding the pharmaceutical drugs. Pharmaceutical drugs are those which are used in medicines. So this chart will show the illicit use of drugs. And according to this chart, cannabis is the highest drug intake by any user or any individual. And this chart is as per according to the year 1998, 2013, 2012, 2011. So the use of cannabis in 1998 was the highest, that is 17.90, which further decreased in the year 2011 with 12.90. In the year 2012 was 11.30, and in the year 2013 was the minimum 9.10. This shows that the use of cannabis has decreased as per the time, and the drug which was used the least in this span of the years was heroin, which was minimum in 1998 with 0.80. Now, moving to the third one. The third of the chart describes the use of pharmaceutical drugs used by the students in Australia. It will show us the different pharmaceutical drugs which the Australians students used or the international students which are presented in Australia use. As seen, the painkillers is a pharmaceutical drug and it is the most extensive used drug in pharmaceutical type. Like from the year 1993 to 2011, 1998 year had the most amount of painkiller drug used, which was 5.20. Further, the second number of pharmaceutical drug used was sleeping pills, and which was highest in the 1998 only, that it was 3.00. The drug which was used the least in all these years was steroids, which was minimal in every year. Now, I'll repeat this step every time because I have not used the storyboard, so it will make it a little longer, but the video presentation will be easily understandable by all the users. Now, here in the fourth chart, it will discuss the illicit use of drugs by students all across Australia with their different age groups, and the sex I have preferred is male. So in this chart, male students of age group 14 to 19, 14 plus and 18 plus will be shown, and as you can see, the age group of 14 to 19 has used the highest amount of drugs in all the concurrent years. Like in 2010, it has used 28.80. In 2011, it has used 20.90. After the age group 14 to 19, the age group 14 plus has used the maximum amount of drugs, that is 19.50 in 2010 and 18.20 in 2011. As it concludes, the maximum number of drug used are used by the teenagers with a minimum age of 14 and a maximum age of 16. Now, moving to the fifth chart. Yes, the fifth chart shows the illicit use of drugs from the different age groups for the female. Earlier, I showed the chart for males, and now this is for the females. And as you can see, the year 2010 showed a boom in the use of illicit drugs by females, which is the highest in the age group 20 to 29. The age group 20 to 29 used the highest amount of drugs in the year 2010 by the females. Further, in the year 2011, it was 25.60, which decreased to 22.90 in the year 2012. The second age group that used the maximum amount of drug was age group 14 to 19, which used 26.50 in 2010, which further decreased to 21.80 in 2011. Female individuals are not behind men in using of drugs. The major concept to discriminate between female and female in these charts was to show the amount of drugs used by males and show the amount of drugs used by females. Now, here in the seventh chart, this shows the use of pharmaceuticals for non-medical purpose by the people of age group 14 plus and they are females. Yes, we would talk about the age group of different ages and they are females which uses pharmaceutical drugs. Pharmaceutical drugs, as I've already told you, are the drugs which are used in medicines. So they are totally illegal to use without any use of medical. And it clearly shows that the age group of 20 to 29 has the highest amount of drug used in pharmaceutical drug used in 2010, which is 5.80. In 2011 it is 4.80, and in 2012 it is 20.29. So, and after that, the age group of 14 to 19 is the second, which shows 5.60 in 2010 and 5.00 in 2011. So these are the two age groups in female which are consistently increasing, and they are consistently the top two age groups which have been in all the charts. So the female individuals are of age 20 to 29 are using the maximum number of drugs, including the pharmaceuticals and the non-pharmaceuticals also. And now, before moving to the eighth chart, I would like to tell you further about a drug which is known as meth. First, let me tell you what is meth. It is a powerful, highly addictive stimulant that affects the central nervous system, all known as meth, chalk, ice, crystal are among many of other terms. It takes the form of white, odorless, bitter tasting crystal powder, then easily dissolve it in water or as alcohol. So, this is the major extensive drug which is used in Australia. According to my data extraction, I found out that meth is being used as the maximum number of individuals are indulging in this, and these are the various forms of meth like capsule, crystal, liquid, tablets, and the highly used meth form is crystal and ice. As you can see, it says 50.40, and the minimal is liquid, which says only 0.50. So the amount of meth and everything used in Australia is increased very much. I have not mentioned the years because I got this data after the 2013 survey. So this data will conclude all the for 2014 and 15 and 16 survey of drugs, and the interviews done with the druggist and the addicted people. This shows that meth is nowadays the one of the most popular drug used in Australia. And last chart shows the factor influencing use of illicit drugs. Lifetime user aged 14 plus and in the year 2013. The major factor that influences a drug an individual to use drugs is seen as to see what it was like or curiosity. An individual is curious to use drugs to know what will happen after using that drugs. And the age group 14 to 19 shows the maximum amount of individuals who are keen to use drugs because of this factor. Further, the second factor was friends or family members were using it. Friends and family members were using it and offered by friends and other family members. This is the second factor which leads to influencing of drugs to do something exciting to enhance an experience. These are the other factors that leads an individual to indulge in drug activities. So, in the end, I would like to conclude some of my points according uh, uh, to my research and my extraction of data that in order to help people with drug addiction and everything, one should impose proper law and order needs to be implemented. Drug users are increasing day by day, so proper laws should be implemented in order to reduce their number. Your children and student needs to proper attention. Proper attention should be given to the children and the students. Society needs to be more proactive in regarding to drug users and other activities. These are the major conclusions which we have made, and I think all the users will be happy to see all the conclusion and all the results. Thank you so much.